Hey y'all, welcome to PJs and Mugs. This is story time with Jessica. It's all good. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of PJs and Mugs. This is week 5, and if you have been following me at any point on social media, from TikTok to Instagram or anything, you might notice I don't do well with consistent posting, because I'd like to think that as someone born in the 80s, as someone who didn't have a cell phone attached to me at all times and was recording everything, I'm a millennial, so we were around when this all happened, but it was like a growing thing. I still know what it's like to have a phone on a wall, okay? So this has always been a struggle. So to get to a 5th week is a miracle. So cheers. Let's go ahead and talk about what I have here. This is not a regular mug. This is a tumbler. And I chose this because of the topic that I'm going to talk about today. So it's hard to see with my ring light. Is there a way to get the... Okay. I don't know if you can see it, but it says, I'm going to read it this time after that 1 week where I just assumed, I thought I knew what I was reading. A wise woman once said, "I'm out of here," and she lived happily ever after. This was given to me from one of my old college buddies from the College of Charleston, whoop, whoop, when I left the karaoke job. If you watched the 4th episode last week, $700 karaoke, you know that I used to DJ at this place that we get off work at 3 a.m. That's how late we DJed. It was the craziest karaoke in Atlanta, and I was there for 5.5 years, a little under 5.5, excuse me. And I was the DJ in charge, the DJ boss, after being there for 3 years. So the last 2 years and some change, I was in charge, and it was awesome, but it was a lot. And there's a lot I want to do with my career. There was a lot going on with my health. And I was like, you know what? I need to let this go if I want my career to continue the way I want it and for me to stay healthy and less stressed. So this was given to me when I left. And one of the reasons I chose this is because of this week's topic. This is supposed to be a lighthearted show. I try to keep things fun. For those who know me very well, and I mean very, very well, I'm not always the lighthearted. I can be quite serious and deep. And so I am in a unique place right now. So if you're I only want lighthearted, then you come back next week and we'll get back to it. But I'm going to do this week because I am in a certain place. And looking at the time this was recorded versus the time that is showing, I hope that things will be a little bit easier. But I just lost a friend. This was the same friend who used to be one of the DJs at the restaurant I left when I left at this time. So I was like, you know what? This is kind of a special connection. While it's from a different friend, it's from a special place that connected me to the friend that just passed. So it is hard to be a funny, happy-go-lucky entertainer. I'm a comedian, I'm a DJ, I'm the life of the party. And when you're on stage and everything's fun and exciting, when you have those harder moments, those can be very difficult to deal with. I want to laugh about the fact that I got this. Look at that. That's not a real shelf. I want to be look, I meant to show y'all. I was like, oh, I'm gonna show y'all my new fake shelf. And that is the kind of life that's hard to balance when you have things like this in the background. And I've had a lot of things going on, but it's important to keep my fun things going on social media and let people know, hey, come for the fun. And you know that term, the show must go on. Well, the show must go on. But sometimes it's hard for it to go on and keep all the laughs. So with this particular friend, you don't know what you got till it's gone. And I have a lot of amazing friends, so I'm not going to just act like one friend was that perfect friend. But I realized that this friend came along right after I lost a really close friend. And that friend didn't die. They just decided they didn't want to be friends anymore. So that happens. But you don't realize how those things hurt until it happens, like a friend walking out of your life. So that was this friend had just entered my life before everything changed with the other friend. And I didn't realize it until later because we were work friends. We DJ different nights. Sometimes we came to support each other. If there were meetings with our boss DJ before, and then when I was the boss, we saw each other in places like that. And one day after work, me and this friend were like, oh, because she came to support me or did I go to support her? One of us went to support the other one, and we're like, let's go out and party somewhere else after this. You know what? It was hers because she had a shorter night. So yeah, so we went to go party at another place with another DJ that I knew. And that is kind of, I think, where the hanging out outside of work started happening. Another thing special about this cup and that friend and me leaving that job was when I left the job, one of the things I wanted to do was go to my favorite Korean sauna spa, and this friend had never been there, so I introduced her to this place. Now, fun thing about this place, if you've ever been to a Korean sauna spa, they are magical places, magical places. At this place, you have to be naked for a portion of the area. Like if you're in one particular area, you're gonna be naked. You're gonna see naked people in the dressing rooms. It is not co-ed in those areas. And this friend, I introduced her to this, and like all the friends that first experienced this place like me, it's just like, oh wait, so we're just gonna take everything. Okay, so we're just gonna be naked, and then you're like, ah, I'm naked. So don't take that the wrong way. That's the only time. Like, don't, not to hate on anyone else, but don't judge me. So that became our go-to thing every single month. I met friends at this place. I had other friends come with me, but this was the friend who I went to this place with so much that when I went last time, it was really, really hard. But I had a beautiful moment with somebody, and I'm like, I think I need to do something with this statement, because I realized in telling this person after getting to meet them in one of the hot tubs, I was like, you know, there is no joy greater than laughing naked. My old friend and I used to have all the conversations, all the gossip about the guy that she was dating or who she was talking to online. Yes, she let me see the profiles of the guys she was dating online, and I would tell them not this or not. Oh, did you like? I look deep into these profiles. So we had a lot of fun. And I think today, just sharing those memories about this friend is so important to me. She was a very ride or die buddy when it came to having a good time. One day, at my karaoke night that I do now, it's a monthly thing. We do things every month. We had a red, black, and white day. If you look, you remember my logo and everything. Red, black, and white is the color combination I love to wear when performing, mostly stand-up comedy. With DJing, it didn't matter, but with comedy, especially big gigs, I was wearing my colors. So red, black, and white day was the karaoke after my birthday or before my birthday. And everybody, you know, they're wearing things like Falcons, let's go ATL, wearing like Georgia Bulldogs, what's up, GA, UGA, you know, just combinations of red, black, and white. But this friend walked in dressed in my signature look. There's a specific dress that I get on Amazon, yay, because it has pockets, that I wear with like headlining gigs and big gigs. And I would always wear my red bow and my red tennis shoes. And this friend went and got that dress, got her pearls, all that off Amazon, wore her red tennis shoes and a red bow. And this is a white friend. No, she did not cross the line. Y'all know what I mean. If you know, you know. If you don't, go read a book. And I screamed when she walked in the door. I'm like, oh my God, you're my twin. So I'm taking all these pictures. I'm like, I don't care who wins the award tonight. She's getting a prize. And she walked out with a gift certificate from the restaurant because she went that far to celebrate me and celebrate the theme. And I wanted to also talk about this friend, and one of the things that hurts the most, because sometimes in life, it is hard when you have people you're close to and not so positive things happen with you. And unfortunately, my friend and I weren't exactly in the best place at the time. She was still coming around. I was still being nice, but I was upset about something. And I wish that I had not been so heavy, because I just knew we'd have some time to eventually talk about it. No matter how upset I was, eventually I would forgive and we blah, blah, blah. So when my husband was like, have you seen social media and so-and-so died? I'm like, so-and-so who? Because you don't expect to hear that. You know you'll see people again. We know death is a thing, but we think we'll see people again. And what was devastating to me is back in 2014, I had an aunt who passed, and I was upset with that aunt. She reached out to hang out, and I didn't hang out with her. Thank goodness I gave her my address when she asked for it, because she was like, let me send you something. I'm just like, fine, I'll send you my address. And on February 4th, 2014, this aunt passed. And it was so devastating because I had 2 to 3 chances to get with my aunt and move on. And I realized holding grudges and moving in unforgiveness is something I do struggle with. I know, I'm so fun, I'm so positive, but cross me. So I swore I would never do that again. I swore I would be more forgiving. I would even forgive that one ex that I really can't stand. Like, I got some exes, I'm like, but there's that one that you hear their name and your eye twitches look like that. Yeah. So I was like, I need to forgive everybody. And I'm not going to lie, I wasn't always like that. And my beliefs are big on forgiveness. So why I was like, we'll see one day. And you think you have time to get through things, you think you have time to forgive people, and then you don't. Well, a crazy thing that happened with my aunt is the day she died, I was somewhere where I could not function, I could not leave, I could not get in Atlanta traffic. I was devastated. So I had to wait for my boyfriend at the time to come pick me up. He finally came and we got back to my place before I went to go be with my family. It was like 12 hours later. And there was a box at my door. And it was from the aunt who passed that day. And it was the craziest thing because I was in an apartment at that time and they did not leave packages at your door. You had to go to the office to get those packages. But because this was a perishable item, they put it at the door. And I'm like, Auntie? I found out that my aunt had sent all the women in the family chocolate-covered strawberries 10 days before Valentine's Day, not knowing that that was her last day. And the sweetest note was in that letter when my aunt was like, I love you, baby. Congratulations on the thing happened in your life. And it's just like, wow. While I was sitting here in unforgiveness, my aunt was showing them she still loved me. She still cared about me. And she was still congratulating me. And I was awful. When I had the chance to talk about it at the funeral, I'm if you know me very well, you know I'm a very truthful person. I am not trying to sit here and pretend I'm something I'm not. I am not someone who's going to avoid the truth. I am not going to sit here and pretend everything's okay. I'll be nice, but I'm just like, at the funeral, I was like, yo, things were not good. I'm not going to sit here and also be like, hey, everything's fine. I miss my auntie. Or I was devastated. And I said that I could have been better in forgiveness. We were going through some things, but we could have talked that out. And one thing that I got that everyone doesn't get when someone passes is this gift of I love you. We all have these gifts saying I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. By the way, y'all, I really hate chocolate covered strawberries. I'm sorry. Just like mint chocolate is a disgrace to food, okay? And people who dip their fries in their ice cream, that's crazy. I do not believe in putting chocolate on a strawberry, which those are two sweet things, but one's tart. Just don't do it. So I didn't eat the chocolate-covered strawberries, but it was still a beautiful Valentine's Day gift. And I talked about how not everybody's going to get a box of strawberries, a box of chocolate-covered strawberries saying, I love you, knowing that before that person passed, they were good with you in their soul. So when this friend passed, the devastating factor for me was that, like, I did it again. And I need y'all to understand how serious and how deep this is. I still have the chocolate-covered strawberries in my freezer right now. I still have... Now, what is this? Late January. By the time this comes out, it's a few days before my auntie died. So it's been 2016 years. No, I did that math wrong. It's been 12 years. Oh my God. 2014. It's been 12 years since my aunt passed. There are strawberries still in my freezer because I told myself I'm not going to get rid of these until I can like have a memorial. And I was going to do like a tattoo of a chocolate covered strawberry like on my shoulder somewhere or something like that where you can't see it in the front for like photos, but it was going to say remember forgiveness. And they're beautiful strawberries. They've got like designs like little stripes on them, so it's really cute. And I was like, I could put that on a tattoo. Here's the thing, I'm also scared of needles, and I'm like, I know people have tattoos, but like putting a tattoo on my body is terrifying. So I'm just going to keep waiting, which means that I'm not throwing away these strawberries. So when my friend passed, I pulled the strawberries out the back of the freezer. And now I'm like, maybe I should get that tattoo because I forgot again. I don't know. Either way, I love my friend. Lord, she made me upset and mad sometimes. But I love my friend. And we had some phenomenal memories. And she filled a void that I didn't even realize was that deep and that she was feeling it after losing another friend. And now that I sit here in my supposedly fun and funny web series that I'm still figuring out, by the way. So thank you for your patience. I'm sure this is going to have some rhyme or reason one day. But as I sit here and I talk about this, I was like, I don't feel like being really funny right now. I'll get back to that later. I've got plenty of crazy stories for you. But this one is a story that I needed for myself, but I feel like somebody else might need it too. And it doesn't matter what you believe. If someone leaves this earth, and you didn't have the chance to say the thing you should have said. You didn't have the chance to get that hug. Yeah, I could have gone to the hospital and I didn't understand that she was telling me she was in the hospital with the last text. That hurts. And I don't want anyone else to go through that. And I know people will. This is life. Somebody is going to go through this. But may I encourage you to remember forgiveness. I believe, according to the friends who've spoken to me from this friend, the ones who knew her even more than I did, from what they said, she was good in her soul with me. And so now I need to be good in my soul with her, and I need to forgive myself, and I need to forgive her. So this video is me taking my platform to all 10 of y'all that might watch this and say, please remember forgiveness. Forgive. To my friend, I love you. To my auntie, I love you. See you next week. PJs and Mugs. This is Jessica. It's all good. Cheers.